Single parenting can feel like a solo journey, but it doesn't have to be. Introducing Mom Flex app, the ultimate village web app designed just for you. From financial support to community connections, Mom Flex app offers a lifeline, helping you navigate parenting with confidence. Find trusted resources, build your support network, and thrive. Because every parent deserves a village. Join the movement today. Visit momflex.org to install the app and take the first step toward a stronger, more supported you.
Every day's a battle, every step a climb, but we're standing tall, we're building our lives. Through the sleepless nights and the endless fight, we rise, we shine, we hold on tight. We are more than the labels, more than the pain, breaking the cycle, rewriting the game. Stronger together, we lift, we strive. Single parents, we rise and thrive.
Hey, single parent. Are you ready to take charge of your future? Because here on Beyond the Struggle, Rise and Thrive, we don't just survive, we rise. We rise from the pain we inherited. We rise from the limiting beliefs we were taught to carry. We rise from the way of doing it all alone, because together we are building something greater. Today's episode is personal, raw, real. We are diving deep into the cycle so many of us have lived through, sometimes without even realizing it. Cycles of scarcity that taught us to shrink our dreams because we believe there was never enough. Cycle of fear that made us question our worth, our voice, and whether we were truly safe to be seen and heard. And cycles of silence, that haunting generational hush that said, we don't talk about that here, even when everything in us was screaming to be understood. But in this episode isn't about blame. It's not about shame. It's not about pointing fingers at our parents or guardian or community. It's about truth. And truth is the first step to healing. This is about recognizing where we come from while claiming the power to decide where we go next. This is about standing at the intersection of the past and the future with your child watching and saying, it may have started with them, but it ends with me. And not only does it end with you, something beautiful begins with you too. So take a breath. This is your space. This is your moment. Let's talk through it all together, shall we?
Every day's a battle, every step a climb, but we're standing tall, we're building our lives. Through the sleepless nights and the endless fight, we rise, we shine, we hold on tight. We are more than the labels, more than the pain, breaking the cycle, rewriting the game. Stronger together, we lift, we strive. Single parents, we rise and thrive. Beyond the...
Let me tell you a bit of my story. I was a young child when my mother left for Europe. Like so many women before her, she left in search of opportunity. Not because she didn't love me, but because she wanted more for me than what she could give in that moment. That choice changed everything. I was left in the care of my uncle. And while he loved me the best way he knew how, he was going through his own struggle. He was caught in a storm financially, emotionally, mentally. And as a child, I was just trying to stay afloat inside that storm. There were days, too many days to count, where there simply wasn't any food, not a snack, not a piece of bread, just nothing. I remember going to bed with an empty stomach, not because I don't like what was being offered, no, but because nothing was being offered. Hunger became a regular visitor in my life. My uncle, bless his heart, would sometimes hustle in whatever he could. I remember watching him sell rocks on the side of the road, literally sell rocks, just to scrap together enough money to buy us something small. And when he could, he had come home late at night with donuts. They weren't meals, but they were something warm, something sweet, something that reminded us we hadn't been forgotten. When there was no food and no donuts, I would fill my belly with water and lie down, hoping that the sleep will come before the ache got too loud. I became good at ignoring the gnawing of my stomach. I became good at pretending that everything was okay. But that kind of hunger isn't just physical. It seeps into your spirit. That experience planted something deep in me, a scarcity mindset, not just the fear of not having food, but the fear that there will never be enough, period. Never enough love, never enough time, never enough safety, never enough of me. I grew up believing that I had to struggle and hustle for everything, that nothing came without struggle, that asking for help was a weakness, that resting meant I had lose everything I worked so hard to keep. Even when I had enough money, even when I had shelter, even when I was surrounded by people who cared, I still operated like I was one bad day away from losing it all. I carried that burden into motherhood, into relationships, into my career, always striving, always proving, always surviving. But here's the thing. Survival is not the same as living. And I realized that if I wanted to give my children a different life, not just materially, but emotionally, I had to heal me first. I had to stop punishing myself for things that were never mine to carry. I had to repair the little girl inside me, the one who was hungry, scared, and alone. I had to hold her close and whisper, "You are safe now. You are enough. You don't have to prove anything to be loved. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to thrive." That healing didn't happen overnight. It came in layers through tears, through therapy, through reflection, through saying no when I used to say yes out of fear, through choosing trust when I used to choose control. And now I sit before this mic, not as someone who has it all figured out, but as someone who has walked through the fire and lived to tell the story. I'm here to help you do the same, because your past is a chapter, not your entire book. And your children are watching not just how you survive, but how you rise.
Every day's a battle, every step a climb, but we're standing tall, we're building our lives. Through the sleepless nights and the endless fight, we rise.
We don't talk enough about what we inherit emotionally. Many of us were raised in an environment that told us, don't ask for too much. You have to be strong all the time. We don't talk about that here. That silence becomes our operating system. That fear becomes our default. That scarcity becomes our baseline, even when life changes. And let me tell you something. Just because it was familiar doesn't mean it was right. Whether it was emotional neglect, financial hardship, or generational trauma, those experiences may have shaped you, but they do not define you. You get to decide what gets passed down from here on now. So what now? How do we break the cycle? We replace it. We replace scarcity with intention. We replace fear with trust in ourselves, in our journey. We replace silence with empowerment and truth. I had to teach myself that I don't need to hoard opportunities out of fear I won't get another. I had to learn that rest is not laziness, that saying no doesn't make me ungrateful, that asking for help isn't weakness, it's wisdom, and that my worth, it's not based on what I produce, it's inherent. One of the most powerful things I ever did was talk openly with my children about my story. Though some of them, they don't even believe that's possible because they haven't lived that. I shelter them. So for them, it's impossible that their mom lived that type of lifestyle. It is impossible. Not from a place of shame when I was sharing that story, but from a place of truth. Because I want them to know where I come from, but more importantly, where I'm going. If you are listening to this right now and you have ever felt that deep hunger, whether it was the ache of an empty stomach, the silence of unmet emotional needs, or the weight of spiritual exhaustion, I want you to pause and hear me. You are not alone. Let me say that again. You, my friend, are not alone. You are not weak for feeling tired. You are human. You are not broken because of what you have been through. You are brave because despite everything, you are still here. You are still showing up for your children. You are still waking up, making a way out of no way. You are still trying. You are still reaching. And that takes courage. That is courage. That is power. That is resilience. This path you are on, it's not easy. Healing never is. But I promise you this, it's not hopeless. Because with every small choice you make to be intentional, every time you pause to take a breath instead of reaching from fear, every moment you speak truth instead of silence, every boundary you set, every tear you let fall, every step you take, you are not just breaking cycles. You are building a whole new legacy. You are planting seeds of trust where there used to be fear. You are nurturing confidence where there used to be shame. You are creating a home within yourself where your child and you are finally safe to grow. Let this be a declaration, and let this be your declaration. This struggle may have started before me, but it ends with me. You are the turning point. You are the bridge between pain and purpose. You are the proof that something better is possible. And just in case no one told you this today, know this. I see you. I honor you. And I believe in you. I'm going to leave you with this quote. You may have been born into survival, but you were made for more. Break the silence. Break the fear. Break the scarcity and rise. Thank you for listening today. If this episode touched your heart, if it reminded you of your strength, your purpose, your worth, please share it. Share with someone who is in the thick of it, someone who's doing the quiet, sacred work of healing, someone who's turning their pain into power. Because none of us were meant to do this alone. This isn't just fight. This is your freedom. And remember, you are not alone. You are part of a village, a movement, a rising. Until next time, stay intentional, stay brave, and keep rising. Until next time, ciao now.
Queen in every way. Dear Queen, you wear your crown with pride, shouldering the world with grace inside. You're a mother, you're a guide, a steady flame, teaching love, strength, never seeking fame. I see the fire that never dies, through sleepless nights and heavy sighs. You rise again, you light the way, turning darkest night into brighter day. You are a queen in every way, more than words could ever say. Working tirelessly, love your creed, sacrificing all for those in need. So take a breath, reclaim your day. You are a queen in every way. The worry in your eyes, the weight you bear, still you show up, always there. Your strength unseen, your courage loud, a warrior walking tall and proud. No crown of gold, but grace you wear, with every hug, with every prayer. And though the world may miss your fight, you're our hero every night. Every day's a battle, every step a climb, but we're standing tall, we're building our lives. Through the sleepless nights and the endless fight, we rise, we shine, we hold on tight. We are more than the labels, more than the pain, breaking the cycle, rewriting the game. Stronger together we lift, we strive. Single parents, we rise and thrive. Beyond the struggle, we rise and thrive. Turning our pain into power, we're alive. We see you, you matter, you're strong inside. Together we shine, we rise, we thrive. Stories of triumph, stories of grace. Single parents with dreams to chase. They said we'd break, they said we'd fall, but look at us now, we're standing tall. We are more than the labels,